All right, it is Memorial Day 2026. We're just coming off of, something like 4.5 inches of rain over the course of the last 3 or 4 days. And yes, I'm out here mowing immediately as soon as it stops, right? Now, you're probably thinking, you're seriously putting a big old mower on all these wet lawns? Are you crazy? You're gonna destroy the lawns, you know? How are you're mowing through all this water? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not just waiting until it dries out? Well, you know, people get worried about mowing in the rain or mowing a wet lawn, and whether you should or should not do it because it's going to destroy the lawns, right? Well, you be the judge. So you tell me, does that look destroyed? Let's see another one. All right, here's the next one. Some very tall fescue grass. And look, the tires are wet. So the grass is wet, but the dirt's wet, right? Am I ruining it, guys? Let me finish and show you. All right, yeah, you're right. You know what? I think this one's done for. I think we're gonna lose it because I mowed it and it was still a little wet from the rain. Aaron, there's still water puddles in the parking lot. You can't be serious about mowing this lawn. I am. Yes, I am. Man, I'm still tore up about that one though. If we'd waited a little bit longer, the sun would have came out. We could have mowed it a little bit drier. But since I mowed it in the rain, we definitely lost it. Somebody help. There's a madman on the loose mowing moist lawns. And out of the 4 properties, he's caused 6 foot worth of absolute decimation to our property. Oh, the community will never survive. So yeah, all this is mud on the tire. And you'll notice we only come up to a certain point, right where I know the water holds and it's the absolute limit. And this is gonna look totally normal, exactly the same as if it never happened before probably everyone even gets here to work tomorrow. That's not damage, it's not even a rut. If it was a rut, this whole area would be completely rutted up because I mow this property. I have mowed this property for about 10 years now, and there's no ruts. And I've done it the exact same way every time it rains. And look at that, man. It's absolute decimation, I know, but all right, so obviously I'm being a little ridiculous, a little absurd, right, over the top. But I say all this in the past few minutes to make a point, which is anytime it rains, people get a little weird with their lawn. If it's just a little wet, they don't want you to touch it, they don't want you to go over it. And that's fine. If you absolutely must not have it cut, fine. But here's the deal. Everything you saw today, there's absolutely nothing wrong with any of it. Even the parts that actually look a little bit bad, I can guarantee without a shadow of a doubt, bet my business on it, bet everything on it. Those little marks over there, okay, you can't even see they're there. Those little marks over there are gonna be nearly gone by the morning time. You're never even gonna know that this lawn was cut in the rain or any of the others, right? So when you hire someone to do your lawn, you do have to trust them that they know what's best, and you have to trust the fact that we're not going to come out and damage and destroy property. This business is not a side hobby. It's not a hobby. It's not a side hustle. It's not like I'm not mowing for my health. Okay. This is how we pay the bills. This is how we pay the bills for the last 10 years. Okay. This is everything. Okay. This is our income. We're not going to do something that's going to come out here and destroy your lawn and ruin our reputation and prevent us from getting more customers and building up that livelihood. At the very least, you know, and this is not the case, but keep in mind, why would I come out and voluntarily and egregiously just destroy and damage your property and your lawn and tear it up and risk losing my income and risk losing my reputation and all these things over wet grass? You know, I'm not doing that. So if you see me out there mowing your lawn, or you see your lawn care provider out there mowing the lawn, you have to kind of trust that they know what they're doing, and assess realistically why they might be doing what they're doing. And look, a lot of lawn guys out there are not going to be able to cut these lawns, even, you know, even though they're perfectly fine to cut, you know. There are lawn guys out there who are going to do it wrong because they don't know actually what they're doing. So you have to know what you're doing, and you have to trust your lawn guy, and you have to be able to assess realistically, you know, when Aaron comes out, is he actually damaging and destroying our lawn, or, you know, is it a little ugly mud mark, you know, that's going to be there for a few hours? You just have to live in reality with this stuff, you know. Sometimes we don't have an option, you know. It's not that I want to, and I've not been itching to come out and mow in the rain, or mow a wet lawn, okay, and potentially get stuck or damaged. I've not been dying to do that. It's done out of necessity, because, you know, we've got 40 properties to cut, we've got landscapes, we've got fertilization, we got weed control, we've got hedges to trim coming up, we got weeds to pull coming up, we've got, you know, aerations. I got 3 or 4 aerations to finish up. I've got a lot to do. It rained for the last 4 days, couldn't do anything. It's potentially going to rain on and off for the next 6 days based on the forecast. It's going to rain tonight, supposedly. So we don't have a lot of room. We don't have a lot of option in these scenarios, because a lot of this stuff is time sensitive, and whatever we can do in the rain, we need to be able to do it, you know. And part of that's going to be mowing your lawn when it's a little damp. But, you know, we mowed 4 little city properties today. It's a holiday, so we're not going to do any residentials. And, you know, there's no damage. There's absolutely no issues. Like I say, I've been mowing this over here, making those rut marks every time it rains for the last decade. And no complaints, no issues. And that's because it always bounces back, and it always looks just fine by the next morning. And yeah, that's because I know the thresholds of this lawn. I know why that mark is there. I know exactly what to do in a way that we're not actually causing damage. So you just have to learn to trust your lawn guy, and trust that, you know, we're doing the best thing. Because here's the deal, at the end of the day, the absolute worst case scenario is that we don't get to mow it today, okay? And so this one, for example, the last time we mowed it was last Monday. So it's been a week. So that was a week worth of growth that I took off of this today. And 4 days of that week had nonstop rain. Now imagine, with a week's worth of growth, 4 days of nonstop rain, I didn't come today on Monday. And then it does actually rain for the next 6, 7, 8 days, whatever they've got in the forecast now. Crazy amounts of rain. So it rains all that. So you're gonna have almost 2 weeks of growth on top of a week and a half or more of rain. And it's peak growing season right now. At the end of May, everything grows 5 times as fast as it will in the summer and it does in the spring and the fall. So this is a point in time where we have to make judgment calls, and we have to make decisions, and we just got to get stuff done. Because if I do let this go and it gets all that growth here in peak season, with all these weeds and stuff, and then I end up taking it down to its normal height all at once in 2 or 3 weeks when we get to dry weather again, that is how you do way more damage than anything that I've done out here today. So yeah, taking too much off, and then when it's so tall, it's not going to dry out properly. So you're taking too much off, and then it's going to be wet. Then you get those clumps and stuff. So waiting is actually more detrimental than mowing when it's a little damp out. So you know, just trust your landscaper. Trust that, you know, we've got not only your lawn's best interest, but at worst case scenario, I've got my best interest. I don't want to lose the income. I don't want to destroy your property. Okay, that's not my goal. You know, I'm not out here maliciously, you know, mowing lawns, you know, getting one over on you. So just trust that we know what we're doing, and we aren't doing anything malicious when we mow wet lawns. Okay, it's fine.